Hey you, subscribe to this channel. Or else. Okay, sorry for the shaky cam, but I'm filming this preemptively just in case I don't get the Commander Baracara done in time. So I'm going over how I made my Phase 1 Captain Rex and Phase 3 Captain Rex, which is what I'll be calling him. He's really Rebels Rex, but and I would normally put them in two different videos, but they kind of relate directly to each other. So I'm gonna start over here. I'm gonna start with the Phase 3, which is what I'll be calling him. So I got Captain Rex. I bought another one. And what I did was I obviously took this off, and I took his top torso off. And I bought Finn from Jakku legs. I took the feet off and replaced it with Rex's feet, as you can see. And then I just sculpted this up because he already has an animated head, so I just thought, it doesn't really matter. They'll make it animated style. Really, you'd want to swap out at the knee joint, like under his knee pad. That's where you'd want to swap it out. And the Finn from Jakku body, it wasn't the correct height, and it didn't really sit on there well. So what I did was I sculpted his body upward, and you can see it's two different colors. Actually, I'm gonna go back and repaint this black, but I'm not gonna do that right now. So I sculpted this up. His helmet doesn't need to be there right now. I didn't actually attach it, so you can see. I just put a hole down there because his body wasn't coming out, so I cut it, and now he can, swivel. He doesn't have an ab joint. It's hard to do it with one hand, too, but it just fits on there like a groove. I bought this head off of eBay. If you want a realistic version, I couldn't find one at the time of me actually doing this custom, but I actually prefer this one. They have a Scoundrel stock has a realistic Rex with beard, so if you want that, they have one for you. And sorry about the blue glare. My lights are blue. At least right now. I didn't change it for this. I also took off his belt. So I just have a pair of Rex thighs running around with the crotch piece. Actually, no, I don't. I think I used it already, but I don't remember on what, though. Anyway, so we have that. Also, I took the antenna off of Rex's helmet. I used that for a different custom, so I can't show you that, but if you're gonna try and do this custom, it did take a while, but what you'd want to do is you'd want to paint this the same skin color. I didn't do that, and I didn't want to have to try and recreate this, because this head, honestly, I thought it came out perfect. I think that looks great. The eyes could be better. I'm still working on my eye paint, but at the time, this was my best face paint. Now it's Echo, but you can see I did that in white. I was trying to make it a lighter color, but it kept blending in. Sorry it can't focus. Oh, it focused for a second. There we go. But I went over him first because a lot of the parts I took off of this guy, I put on a Phase 1 body and made it Rex. I didn't put on the pauldron. That's a 3D printed pauldron that he has on. It actually works pretty good, but I put on Rex's head on that one. I actually sized it up really well between the two different bodies, and I gave him the this piece, and I put the belt on him. I've had a lot of Bly customs, so I just had these lying around. You can 3D print them, but I glued on the gun holsters. He's not holding them on. They're glued onto the comma. And it's actually, I did that I could have put the strap on. I have the ability to do that. I did it over here with him. But I didn't do that on this because in the Clone Wars TV show, there's no strap. It's just on the comma. So, actually, that's how they did it on their Black Series Rex. It's not attached to the belt. So, it is on this one. When I say Black Series Rex, that's the 3.75-inch one. Sorry about that. I've actually repainted. This is my second custom ever, and I might have told you that in the collection video, but this is my second clone custom ever. So I've repainted this quite a lot, actually. The original paint I used on him was so dark, and it just looked bad. You can still kind of see that peeking through on the helmet. I didn't like take the paint off. I just repainted it. I've also repainted these a couple times too. So if you go back to my original photos on my Instagram, they look a lot different. Actually, on my Instagram, I have an evolution video of this figure in particular. It just doesn't have his this is his final. It doesn't have his final, but I also weathered him. This was the only clone I'm pretty sure that I've weathered. And it doesn't look that great. There's some spots that I think look fine. But obviously, this was the only clone I weathered, so I didn't think I did that great of a job, because I never did it again. I also didn't weather the helmet, but it looks fine with the rest of them. And I think this is actually a contender to be one of my favorite customs ever, to be honest. Just because of all the work I put into it over like a year worth. It wasn't a year's worth of work. It was more like 3 months worth total I put in on this guy over the course of a year. So, and this one I think is also in the running. I've done 3 Captain Rex customs. I did a Phase 2 custom. I obviously didn't need to, but I did a realistic Rex because this has the animated pauldron, and I got convinced to do the realistic version, and I did that out of a Commander Bly body. You might see that in the future, but again, this is just a just in case video. I don't actually know when this is coming out. This could be like 2 months down the line, but for me, I just finished my Boba Fett video. So, yeah, that's about it. If you have any ideas of what I did wrong, I did these a while ago. So these are old, and for some reason, they look better than some of my newer ones. They look better than some of my newer customs, so I obviously did something right and then just fucking lost it. But if you have any ideas or anything, again, leave that in the comments down below. Subscribe if you want to. Make sure you always check the comments in case someone has a question, and you might be able to answer it if you're watching this video. So always check the comments. I'm gonna keep pushing that. Always check the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.